ESPN FC live here on ESPN Plus. I'm Dan Thomas, joined by Stevie Nicol, Craig Burley and Frank LeBeuf. Lots going on today. We'll kick things off with a late game. Spain in action against Germany. Germany looking to bounce back after that defeat against Japan. Spain, of course, impressed in their opener. This would finish one apiece. Thoroughly entertaining side. Alvaro Morata coming off the bench to get the opening goal in the 62nd minute. It looked like that would be enough. But then Fullkrug scores for the Germans, meaning it's a point apiece. Of course, a huge result earlier on in the day with Costa Rica getting that victory against Japan, meaning it is all to play for in Group E. We'll talk about the permutations of all of that. Final round of group matches later on in the show. But first, let's focus on the game as we welcome in Luis Garcia and Archie Rin-Tut are with us. But before we get a Spanish and German perspective on all of this...
It was a good game, wasn't it?
It was a good game. Yeah, it was...
Great. It was a really good game.
Ebbed and flowed. It was a lot of fun. 1-1, right?
You know, I think Germany were good for clawing their way back in. It's not a surprise the possession stats, right? Because we know Spain are probably going to do that to almost every team in the tournament. They might even do it to Brazil if they were to play Brazil. That's how good they are on the ball. But I think the changes we kind of expected for Germany, though, the extra midfielder in Goretzka, I think they have got a problem, well, maybe the problem solved now, with Fullkrug coming in and scoring. But I don't think Müller through the middle as the furthest man forward really worked for them. And Sané coming on with that little bit of pace gave him an edge as well. So yeah, I thought they were doomed at one point, but those changes, I was waiting on Hansi Flick. I don't know about everybody else. Spain made the changes before him, and I was thinking he's going to make some changes soon. So yeah, I think they've dug themselves out a bit of a hole at the moment, and I actually fancy them to go through now.
Did you enjoy this one, Frank?
I did a lot, because you had two different way of thinking football, and we all know the tiki-taka Spanish, and it worked very well. But I found, encouraging to see Germany reacting and having a high-level international game compared to the previous one, and that I think the two teams that we watched today will be the two teams that we're going to go through.
Okay, we'll talk about that a little bit later on. Overall, though, the performance deserved a draw, Steve?
I think the way the Germans come back into it, they probably deserve something from it. I think overall Spain were the better side. You look at the possession stat, everyone tells you that. But I think Germany, if they're Hansi Flick, I think you need to go a little bit more blood and guts a little earlier in the game.
Right.
Because at one stage, although it was only 1-0, I didn't see Germany getting back in this game. But come the end of the game, I thought if there was one team that was going to win it, it was going to be Germany, because they had turned it so much around and were putting Spain under pressure. So I suppose the draw's right in the end, but from a football point of view, advantage Spain, but Germans, as always, keep coming back.
Luis, you look at it overall, are you disappointed from a Spanish perspective that you didn't get the win, given that you were 1-0 up so late on in the game?
Not disappointed. I think that when you play against Germany and you face and you dominate and you have chances and you score a goal, of course, you are expecting to get those 3 points, and you almost have it all done. But it's Germany, and you know that they have a good quality. They got talent up front, and I think that when I saw Sané coming in, I think he's a different maker every single time he's on the pitch. And it's a pity that this German side cannot use him more often because of that knee problem. I think he's a player who can change totally this team. First of all, because he's going to use maybe Gnabry in different position, Musiala in different position, Muller in different position. The moment he's in on the field, anything can happen. He's so creative, so dangerous when he's on the ball. And you can see that in the last 20-25 minutes, he was in every single aspect to try to create, and maybe almost in this occasion, put the second one. Thinking about the Spain, I was very happy just to see the way that they are playing. And, well, it's a joy to watch how these young kids can manage to put this German side on the fence. So yeah, it was brilliant, and it's a pity they don't have the 3 points, but I think a point will do the job for now.
In that specific sequence,
the last chance,
he has to do better.
Yeah, it just got away from
the goalkeeper did well. Simon did it very well, because he blocked the angle. But he has to try, maybe a chip, I don't know, something. He has to face. Good for the goalkeeper, yeah.
Maybe fires it low.
Yeah. Maybe.
You go for that low. Anyway, it's hindsight.
Yeah, that's you have to decide.
Wrong decision.
Yeah.
Archie, are they happy with the point in Germany?
I think so. I mean, I've watched one of the TV interviews here, And Leon Goretzka was asked, "You're still winless after 2 games," which I thought was a pretty negative way at looking at this. I have to say, German interviewers can be pretty harsh with their assessment, but that's the way that they do things here. And ultimately, it's all about that man there, Niklas Fullkrug, the fairy tale story of this team. Dan, he's never played in the Champions League. He's played more second division games in Germany than he has Bundesliga games. And he's had so many long spells on the sidelines. He's always had a quality as a goal scorer, but at this level, to be doing it against Spain in a crunch World Cup game, it's fantastic to see somebody who, has all these edges to him and is a number 9 firing for Germany, because people have been crying out for it. And I think Germany looks so much better once he came on, once Leroy Sané came on, and as well, Lucas Klostermann. That triple substitution, all 3 of them were involved in the goal. And Jamal Musiala gets his redemption as well by laying it into Fullkrug's path before he goes, "Okay, thank you for your lunch money. Now I'm going to hit this." So, a fantastic moment for Fullkrug. But also, I think, for people wanting to get behind this Germany team, because just from speaking to fans here, the fact that it's made up so much of Bayern players doesn't make them necessarily more likeable, because particularly in the last few years, Bayern have just been winning about everything. And to have somebody who's a Werder Bremen player going and scoring a goal of that significance, I think it will win Germany some brownie points over here.
Fullkrug, he took it really well, didn't he?
What? What? I mean, Unai Simon never even got near it. It was a perfect strike. I think he's played his way into the team for the next game, because not just because of the goal, because he's different. He almost reminded me, for those who watched Germany many years ago, of Horst Rubisch, this big, old-fashioned, bustling striker who put himself around. And do you know what? Whilst they haven't got too many other options, and I don't think Havertz is an option, and clearly Hansi Flick doesn't at the moment either, although he played him in the first game, I think he's a better foil for maybe Musiala and Sané in behind. Just a big guy up there who, I'm not doing him a disservice by saying he's going to throw himself around. We saw him winning headers, scoring a great goal. And so I think that could be a better foil for Germany, for those guys to go and play off him, than anything they've had so far in the tournament. And fair play to him. What a terrific finish.
And he's flying. You come off the bench, you score your first World Cup goal.
Dan, can I change the subject?
I don't know what you're going to change it to.
Well, because the goal...
Lunch?
The goal really annoyed me.
Oh.
I think I agree with everything you said about Fullkrug, but the goal really annoyed me. As soon as the ball hit the back of the net, I couldn't stop shouting at the TV.
What were you shouting?
More men!
I want to know
Shepherd's pie!
I want to know why Jordi Alba was taken off with 9 minutes to go. He better have turned to the bench and said, "I can't move," because you've got a back 4 that had given pretty much nothing away the whole game, and you know the Germans are coming at you, and you take an experienced guy off and you upset the whole rhythm of the back line to bring on a kid and Baldi. And actually, when you see the goal, Laporte comes out with the ball. Baldi he's not in tune with the game, doesn't step forward to get the ball. The ball's turned over, it's in the back of the net. I nearly smashed the TV.
Wow.
I don't understand why you would do that.
Well, the one thing I would say is actually Baldi's been playing a lot before Jordi Alba. And so that's 2 games for him.
I know.
And that's the only reason I can give, that he's lacking match fitness, and he's worried about him being tired, injured, or been unavailable.
Lewis, were you as angry as Stevie when you saw that substitution?
No, I wasn't that angry. Of course, I was angry because of the goal, not because of the change. I think what Luis Enrique was looking after is to try to seal a little bit that side, because he was seeing that Jordi Alba has been doing a great work during a lot of minutes, and he was maybe overtaken by the Sané in some time. Musiala, it was a lot of things happening in that right side. And with Balde, that is a young talent, he's quick, he's strong. He was trying to seal that side, and maybe why not go ahead in one of the occasions. As you could see that Germany was committing players forward, so he could have a chance of maybe going ahead in one counter-attack, quick counter-attack, and Balde was ready for that. I think that was looking for that, but I understand why Stevie is talking about that. When you get into a game with that kind of intensity, with that kind of rhythm, it's very difficult to adapt very quick. And He could miss. He could throw you to a maladjustment between the centre back and the left back. But I think that Luis Enrique was trying to find no rest in Jordi Alba because there was no many minutes left. But yes, try to shield that side.
We sometimes are very harsh towards coaches, in a time where we want what we look, but after the action,
yes,
they have to anticipate the game and see how it works. And as Craig mentioned, maybe Jordi Alba started to be a little bit tired. But the same way for the Germans, where you want to give a chance to Müller as a striker because you know that the experience will help comparing to somebody who mainly playing, second division games, as Archie explained. So it's easy to talk afterwards, like we do, even if we are working very hard, and do our homeworks. But I think being a coach is being able to anticipate everything.
Yes,
He changed his mind, with Süle, put him in as a centre back, put Kerrer in it, like we thought he should have done in the first game. I'm talking about Flint, but for the young left back, you take a decision because you want to rest a player,
right? And
you're quite unfortunate that the action when comes to the game goes to that side, and you cannot do anything about it.
I think there's some food for thought anyway for Enrique with Rodri playing again at the back, and as you progress in this competition, in Spain is barring a disaster, does he continue to play there? Because you saw when the big striker came on, he got across him a couple of times. Musiala had that chance as well, not too long before the actual goal from a similar position. And what about him?
Yeah, he's
I mean, him, Gavi, and Pedri.
Yeah.
You see those three youngsters out there trotting about. Musiala taking the ball in these tight areas and managed to wriggle away from people. And I don't know how I'm doing. You know what I'm going to say? I have to shoehorn Foden in England into this.
Oh, good.
Well, because he's the type of player to me that whilst Germany are going and Bayern Munich are going, how do we build things around this guy? He had a chance to play for England.
Yes.
He turned it down.
Yeah.
You can only imagine him being in this England squad, Musiala that is, sitting on the bench because he doesn't fit into a system of Gareth Southgate. And here's Germany, who've won the World Cup I don't know how many times, are rebuilding, and this guy is the fulcrum of what they do.
Luis, let's talk about the Spain goal. How good was that finish from Morata?
No, it was fantastic. I mean, for a player so important for him, he's a striker that everybody was thinking that he will start in the World Cup. Didn't have much time in the first game, and suddenly in the second game you can see that there is no rotation. You are ready to go, and in just a few minutes you are scoring the first goal for your team. The movement is just fantastic. The touch is fantastic. The cross, of course, from Jordi Alba is great, but definitely is such an important goal for him, for the whole national team. Because, again, there's been a lot of thoughts around Morata about if he was good enough to scoring goals, if he was good enough, if he should be there. Talkings about Canales not being there, Iago Aspas not being there, Borja Iglesias not being there. And this is the kind of moment why Luis Enrique can kind of show everybody that Morata, when he's for the national team, he's working for the national team, he's crucial in many, many games. And today was once again scoring that goal.
That's the World Cup of redemption. For Morata, he's been criticized a lot, and he scored the goal. We allowed Spain to hope for a win. Olivier Giroud, the same thing. Everybody thought he was out of the business.
How did we get Giroud into this?
Well, I don't know. Because of the criticism that he's been through, and that's the subject of my points. That's it. But if you don't want to talk about it, speak about Bellingham, the Harry Kane, and
the problem with that and the goal, Süle. Before the ball came in,
I'm trying not to be negative.
Did you see his body position before the ball came in? He didn't even look. He looked away.
They've lost 3 goals, and he's been in the middle of every single one of them.
Come on, Archie, what would you like to crowbar?
The thing with Morata, though, that's Morata all over.
I'm not crowbarring, Dan. I'm building on what Stevie's saying.
Okay.
Because, the fact that Niklas Süle has been involved in all 3 goals is something that is a topic here. And you wonder, does he need to be switched out of the team for Matthias Ginter? Because that's the next centre-back off the rank for Germany. The problem is that defence right now. I was surprised that Spain didn't go more down that right-hand side, because every time they went up against David Raum in the first half. The door was firmly shut in their face. And it felt like Spain finally worked out, oh, hang on, we're going to have a bit more luck down this side in the second half. And then they started to go after him more. So I think Thilo Kehrer as well at right back, he can have his wobbly moments as well. And I think the thing with this Germany team is, look, they've got so many good players from Bayern. I think that they need to drop Thomas Müller to fit Jamal Musiala in more comfortably and really build this team around him properly and put him in that number 10 position and have Niklas Fullkrug up front. And that way, you're also mirroring how Bayern have had most of their success in the last month or so by having an unfancied striker in the eyes of everyone before he plays, in Eric Maxim Choupo-Moting's case for Bayern and in Niklas Füllkrug's case. But sure, they can't make up what they lack defensively at Bayern. There's nobody of Dayot Upamecano's quality apart from Antonio Rudiger in this team. So yeah, I think there are still big defensive question marks over this Germany team. Should they reach the knockout stages, albeit here in Germany, Christoph Kramer on the terrestrial TV coverage over here even said before this game that it was 99% sure that they were going to make it through. Would like to have asked him that 20 minutes before the end.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.